Hey guys, welcome back to Bourbon and Smoke. Today we're going to be doing riblets. If you don't know what riblets are, they're these little pieces of rib meat that is basically the trimmings from when they're cut down into St. Louis style or baby backs at the meat packing plant. So these, great flavor to them, a little bit easier to get, or quite a bit easier I should say, to kind of dry out, but the price on them is insane. I got a 10-pound box of these for 10 bucks. There's no way you can find ribs for $1 a pound, so we're going to try these out. I've only cooked these one other time, and they turned out pretty good. They were a little dry, so I'm going to try a few different things this time, and we're going to see how they turn out. So, one thing different we're going to do with these is I'm going to use Worcestershire, Fieldville, Iowa sauce to give these, just kind of use it as a binder. So we're just going to sprinkle this on, and then we're going to grab some gloves and we're going to rub it in, and then we're going to apply our actual rub. The old Dr. Snap. Hey, my glove didn't break. Sweet. All right, so now we're just going to take this and just make sure we got a good coverage with all that sauce. And I apologize, I know I cannot say that word. Worcester, right? That's the one. So we're just going to give everything a nice good coating here. And all this is going to do is just add a little extra moisture in there and allow us to bind our rub to it just a little bit better. All right, so now I'm going to remove this glove, if I can get it. And we're just going to season both sides. Be generous with the seasoning. And all I'm using is my standard spicy pork rub. Same thing I use for regular ribs or pretty much any other pork. Now, as I said before, these are really easy to dry out because they are extremely thin. And they're extremely uneven too. You'll get some pieces that are going to be nice. I mean, like that's a nice looking riblet right there. And then you get some that are like this, much smaller, thinner, and just overall going to cook differently. So we want to be careful. These you have to monitor a lot more than your standard St. Louis style or baby back ribs, just because of the difference in size. I'll put the description, I'll put the recipe, for this rub in the description down below. So if you guys want to try making it at home, as I always say with this rub, feel free to alter it as you see fit. It does have a fair amount of cayenne pepper in it. So if you're not a fan of cayenne pepper, you go light on that, or I wouldn't suggest leaving it out. But if you have another pepper that you usually use in place of cayenne, you can do that. All right, so our prep is done. What I'm going to do with these, normally I let my ribs sit overnight. I'm just going to let these sit in the fridge for about an hour just to let everything kind of soak in. Again, thinner meat doesn't take as long to penetrate. So we're going to let this sit, and I'm going to get the smoker. We're going to set that up to 225 degrees, and we're going to give these a nice, relatively long smoke. See you guys in a bit. All right, so we've let the meat sit for about an hour in the fridge now, so everything hopefully is all soaked up and get some nice penetration from our sauce, or from our seasoning, So we're going to lay these on here and let them cook. So I'm going to lay these smaller pieces more away from the heat. And we always want to, there are little bones in here still. We always want to lay the bone side down. I'm just going to help protect the meat. So if anything's going to burn, it's going to be the little bits of bone that we got in there. All right, we're going to leave it cook for about 2 hours-ish. We're going to come back and we're going to start basting them with barbecue sauce, checking temperature, checking tenderness. Again, we really don't want to get these overcooked. All right, so they've been on here a couple hours now. Just gonna check the bottom of these. Getting good. I'll make sure this isn't burnt over here. Everything is looking really, really nice. So, what we're going to do now is move these just kind of closer together. Keep a nice tight formation here. And then we're just going to baste them. So all we're going to do here is just pour a little barbecue sauce on there. We're using Sweet Baby Ray's. Give everything a nice little drizzle. And we're going to come back with our brush and brush it on. Once this has set up a little bit, I'm going to come back and I'm going to flip them. And we're going to do the exact same thing to the other side. This should only take about 15-20 minutes for this all to set up, because we're going to be putting it's a pretty light coating on here by the end. We just want it to set up, kind of become that more of a glaze than a sauce. And you'll notice it as soon as you actually see it. It sets up really, really nice. It really becomes more part of the meat than a condiment or a sauce on top. This is going to help lock in some of that moisture, as well as add in a whole lot of flavor to it. Make sure you get as much coverage as you can too. We don't want any part of that allowing moisture to escape that we want to keep in the meat. And that's it. So we're going to let this sit now, again, probably 15-20 minutes or so. I'm going to check it probably every 10 minutes and see how we're doing, and then come back, flip them, do the other side, and then we're going to start checking temperatures. These are probably pretty close to done already, to be honest with you, but we want to get that nice kind of tenderness to them as well, just like with regular ribs. All right, see you in a bit. All right, guys, while we're waiting for the riblets to smoke, we're going to try this wonderful gift my wife got me, Angel's Envy. I have had this once before, and it blew my mind. Like, it was so complex and really, really just awesome. It's been 2 years now since I've had it, so I'm really excited to bust open into this. And this is 86.6 proof. I think these are about 50 bucks. Comes with a nice little tag here. And this is a beautiful bottle. I mean, it's got the angel wings on the back. Yeah, this is definitely something to keep around. Smells really soft, actually. It's got a lot of vanilla, a little bit of ethanol, not much, obviously pretty low proof. But yeah, it smells really good. It's got a nice dark color to it. It tells you that it's nice and well aged. Ooh, lots of spice. Oak char maybe, and kind of some like berries maybe at the end of it, like some raspberry or something like that. Really a fantastic bourbon. This is something that I'm definitely not going to be drinking a whole lot of this, just because I like to keep it around for, we have guests over, you want to bring out something a little more nice, a little special. Kind of coats your whole tongue. Everything just works really well with this bourbon. Definitely, if you get a chance to, pick something up like this, because it is something special to have around the house. Like I said, when you have those special guests over, or even a special occasion. Excellent, excellent bourbon. I'm going to go check on our riblets here. I think we got to maybe flip them and do a little more basting. So, I'm bringing this with me. See you guys in a bit. All right, so these are set up pretty good. Now I'm just going to flip them, put a glaze on the other side here. Oop. Get them to flip nice. Do the same thing on this side. Maybe a little bit less. I was a little heavy on the other side. Took a little bit longer than I expected to set up, just because I had a little too much sauce on it maybe. Same thing for these. Cover all your surfaces. All right, now we wait for this to set up, and then we should be pretty close to ready to eat. See you guys in about 20 minutes. All right, so it's been another 20 minutes or so. See, the sauce is set up pretty nicely into a nice glaze. I'm actually going to go ahead and pull these because I don't want them to get dry. You can tell they're not nearly as tender as, say, regular ribs would be, but they are done, at least edible. So I'm going to try them this way. Last time I went too long. This time I'm probably going a little too short, but we'll give them a try and see what we get.